Hello again, another question from test 2, 2014, and another one that people didn't do terribly well in. Lots of people seem to know, or nearly everyone seems to know, the mnemonic sock toa. I'm a bit shaky on it because I don't use it myself terribly much, but it's actually really good to illustrate how you solve this sort of problem. We're going to consider this angle 20 degrees, which is the only one we're given, although it's actually fairly easy to work out what Z is, but we'll leave that aside for the moment. What you need out of each of these relationships, and you should know that this stands for sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent is excuse me, opposite over adjacent. Obviously we need to know what all these opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse refer to. Y is the hypotenuse. X is adjacent to the 20-degree angle, it's touching it, and 5 is the side opposite the 20-degree angle. So to solve for the unknowns here, x and y, all you need is one of these relationships that in which you know two of the things. So for example, we know the sine of 20 degrees. We can look that up, or we can work it out on the calculator. Do we know the opposite side? Yes, we do. Now that means if we were to write this expression out, the only thing we don't know is y, the hypotenuse, so we can solve for it. Looking at this one, do we know the cosine of 20 degrees? Yes, we do. Do we know the adjacent side? No, we don't. Do we know the hypotenuse? Well, not yet. So maybe we could use that as a second step if we wanted to. Look at tangent. The tangent of 20 degrees is something we can work out on the calculator. Do we know the opposite side? Yes. Do we know the adjacent side? No, but that expression is something we could use to work it out. So let's have a crack. Let's use this one. The sine of 20 degrees equals the opposite side, which we know, over the hypotenuse, which is y. Now, from your rearranging equations, you should be able to work out very quickly that this means y is equal to 5 divided by the sine of 20 degrees. The other one we identified that we could have used is the tan of 20 degrees equals the opposite side, which is 5, over the adjacent side, which is x. And rearranging this, we'll find that x is equal to 5 divided by the tan of 20 degrees. I'm not particularly interested in the answers, and I haven't got my calculator right next to me here, but that's a fairly simple calculation. And note, look, even if you'd come along to the exam badly prepared, without a calculator that had the sine and cosine, the trig functions on it, if you wrote this much out, you would get substantial marks for the question anyway. Okay, the other thing we could use once we'd worked this out, once we had the adjacent side worked out or the hypotenuse worked out, we could use this other one if we wanted to work out the one we hadn't solved for. And basically that's it for that question.